Hi everybody, welcome to Dice Camera Action. Woo! A D&D game with me, Chris Perkins, as your Dungeon Master. And today we are short one regular cast member as Anna Prosser Robinson is gearing up for our big, giant, huge TwitchCon extravaganza, which will include a live D&D game featuring all of us and our guest today, Vivid Vivka.
It's me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. And I apologize in advance.
I already have it.
All right.
So first, a quick recap. Our heroes, the Waffle Crew, arrived in Waterdeep some months ago aboard a ship called the Brazen Pegasus, which it turned out was owned by a Waterdavian noblewoman named Esvele Rajnar. Before the ship made port, it lost its captain. Its captain, Ortame, was lost at sea in an incident involving the Waffle Crew, and Diath promised the first mate, Greg Riddell, that he would speak to Lady Rajnar on his behalf about the incident. Shortly after arriving in Waterdeep, Diath also found himself at odds with the dwarf clans of the north, who held him to accounts for an incident that occurred many, many months earlier in the high mountains of the Silver Marches, when Diath obtained an iron flask that had been possessed by Drow and released a fire primordial, a fire titan that had been bound inside it. This titan laid waste to a fire giant stronghold and killed or severely burned a number of dwarven slaves. So Diath has been trotting around the city ever since, ensuring to the well-being of his friends, their establishment of their new abode in the North Ward, and attending to other matters. One of the things that Diath wanted to do was basically put a cork in this Lady Rajnar business.
Choice words.
So Diath, on a sunny day some weeks ago, in the early spring, you show up at the Rajnar estate. Now, you did some research prior to arriving here and learned a couple things about House Rajnar. One, they were once banished from Waterdeep for smuggling, slavery, and other crimes. It's a Titherian house, which has since returned and is trying to, as far as the rumor mongers attest, overcome its dark past and its disgraceful reputation by focusing on legitimate business ventures such as gem making, wine making, and sea trading. The Rajnar Villa, you've discovered, is situated on Thunderstaff Way between Copper Street and Shield Street in the Sea Ward, west of the High Road. So it's in one of pretty much the most expensive real estate place you can imagine in the entire city. It's high ground in the city. It's mostly well-tended, well-policed, and clean. However,
Just very out of Diath's element.
Exactly. However, you are somewhat surprised, or maybe not, when you come to the estate and you realize that unlike the very well-tended, well-maintained edifices around it, this one kind of has a neglected countenance, a somewhat sagging demeanor. You can see some of the slate tiles of the roofs have broken off and fallen away and not been replaced. The building walls, which are just absolutely overgrown with ivy, you see that most of the ivy is dying or possibly just struggling to survive, or maybe coming back to life, but it's all sort of gray and dead for the most part, except for a few sparse leaves here and there.
Tag yourself. I'm the ivy.
And the windows are sort of old, and most of them covered up with dark drapes. And as you advance up the steps to the front doors, you see that the paint around the doors is weathered and chipped, and even the stone pediment above the doorway seems somewhat ill-aligned, like much of the structure is kind of sagging and listless and weary of standing. there is a pull rope next to the door, probably connected to some sort of bell mechanism that looks like it was recently replaced.
Oh. Good. I didn't want to knock anyway. Yeah, it has like a sort of doorbell kind of thing. I'll just,
Yeah, big pull cord for the doorbell.
yeah, Diaz will kind of like put a hand upon it and then just take a moment to be like, and then ring it.
Okay. You are greeted fairly quickly by an old, decrepit, tall man, probably about 6'1", 6'2", very thin, bony thin, a reedy, long-faced servant who takes your name and asks your business.
My name is Diaz Woodrow. I'm here to speak to Lady Rajnar on behalf of Captain Ordame.
He tells you in a soft voice that Lady Rajnar and her kin are out and about and not present at the moment.
Oh, darn! Guess I'll try back later.
Okay, Diaz bounds down the stairs, leaving the old man momentarily vexed, but he just sort of, his eyes roll back into his head and he just closes the door and disappears into the sepulchral darkness of the hall beyond.
You know when she'll be back?
He nods with the negative that he doesn't. And you get a sense that he has done this job far longer than he should have and has lost all will to live. And as you sort of glimpsed over his shoulder into the dark hall beyond, the only thing that sort of struck you was a musty smell that smelled hints of perfume and mildew mixed together with just age and decrepitude, as well as what looked like kind of a decorator's travesty, a fashion nightmare. The decor inside sort of outlandishly outdated and overwrought.
Are we still tagging ourselves? Because
But as you hasten away, make a perception check.
All right. So Diaz doesn't like immediately run away, but after like he closes the door, Diaz just kind of like sits down at the bottom step and just kind of like puts his head into his hands for a moment, just be like, oh boy. Perception 22.
You get the uncanny feeling that in this moment you are being watched, and watched by something unnatural. As you crane your head to look around, you get the feeling that the house itself is glaring down upon you.
I'm gonna look back at the house.
When you do, you see on the third floor, the windows, which are sort of made of leaded glass with dark frames, have iron wrought sort of fencing around their lower half with little spikes sticking up, and that fencing is all sort of rusted and old, and the brickwork around the window is crumbling. But you see that the curtains of that window are now parted, where before you were pretty sure they were drawn. And standing in the window, glaring down at you, is a woman in black with a veil over her face. She looks like a black specter or wraith at first glance, until you see underneath that veil is a pale visage.
Cool.
All right, well, I guess it's not too early for this then. Here we go.
After kind of looking back over his shoulder and seeing that, Diaz will rise to his feet and turn towards the window and just look back up towards it, trying to make eye contact or whatever.
Because of the veil, you can't really gauge the woman's age, and as you kind of stand and turn toward her, she just kind of recedes into the darkness of the room.
Pouring a little bit more.
Is that an invitation? floor. Wait, should I want to somehow ascend to that third story window? What structures and or natural things nearby would help me do so?
There are trellises, eaves, and just sort of stone-carved protrusions, aplenty up the walls, aided by the iron grillwork that's bolted to the walls that would facilitate an easy climb.
Okay.
The window itself doesn't look like much of a conundrum for a thief of your expertise.
I mean, I don't call myself that, but yeah, I'm. It's what time is it?
It is like midday, bright sun glaring down at you. The shadow of the house is falling away from you at this hour, so the facade of the building is fairly well lit.
Okay. Well, that's the problem. It's only third story. I can do this quick. I'm just going to climb my way up there using my second story work ability.
Yep.
So that I can do it quite very expeditiously.
Yes, you pull it off
just wanna-
without a check.
Yeah, I just want to get to the window itself, just so I can call into it
Okay.
and just be like, Lady Rajnar?
Yes, you can look through the window and see what appears to be a conservatory beyond. And the woman in question is standing near a hearth and a chair parked in front of it, caressing the chair lovingly with her back to you. But she can hear you through the window, and she does sort of turn a little ways in your direction, but does not lift her veil and does not engage you anymore.
And for the record, I actually don't know what Lady Rajnar looks like, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
It is clear that she is wearing a mourner's veil and a black funeral gown.
Yeah. I'll call out again. Lady Rajnar, if that's you, I only wish to speak.
She beckons you to enter silently.
Cool. Good. Before I do that, I immediately look down to see if should I need to make a quick escape, what the best way to do that, and just immediately have that escape plan.
Okay.
Ready.
You log that in your memory.
Yep. Okay, good. And then I go through the window.
Okay. The window is unlatched, and when you step through into the room, you're greeted by sort of the same musty smell that you sensed downstairs. All of the other windows are covered up. There's like 3 or 4 along one wall. A large hearth, as I mentioned, that is not lit. It's not. And as you stand in the room, you can see that there are some drapes covering strange objects about the room, inhuman in form, monstrous in scale in a few cases. Your best guess at glance is that they might be instruments.
Huh. Huh.
And
Like musical instruments?
yes. And
Okay.
as she caresses the chair, she says, "This was his favorite chair."
I stay like directly next to the window. Like I don't enter or reproach her at all. Like I'm staying right here to speak.
She turns to you and says, "Are you a friend of my daughter's? A suitor, come seeking my permission?"
Oh. No, this isn't. I'm sorry. This there seems to be a mistake.
You hear above you, through the ceiling, a sound that is unnatural in a place such as this, and also in the tomb-like silence catches you by surprise, because it's loud and it's a rustling noise like hundreds or maybe thousands of wings in the ceiling.
Okay.
And she says, She looks up and hears the sound, and she says, "They've taken over.
What? Huh?
The bats. They've taken over."
I don't. I'm sorry. I was just here to speak to Espel. I there seems to be some confusion. I don't mean to interrupt. I can go.
She says, "I can't sleep with all of that racket. If my husband was alive, he would take care of it, but he's dead."
Oh, that's horrible. Who was your husband?
"The lord of this estate."
Oh, what happened to him?
"He passed away." I can't sleep. I have not slept in days because of the bats in the roof.
I mean, based on what little I know on your estate, I'm pretty sure you can probably pay someone to exterminate them, or maybe open a window up there.
She looks up at a corner of the room, and you can see that there's a hatch in the ceiling, like an attic access point. You surmise there's probably several of them on this level in various rooms and places. And she says, "It used to be quiet.
Right, and now no matter what, you just always hear something. I know what you mean.
They came with a strange smell. Can you smell it?"
Can I smell it?
Make a perception check. You're smelling mustiness. You're smelling maybe a hint of perfume on the lady by the chair.
Yeah.
You're smelling ashes in the fireplace.
But my perception is pretty good, so uncanny sniff, 24.
You do smell something earthy that doesn't seem to have a place here. Maybe even like bat dung on top of
Okay.
that.
Right.
She says, "They came here uninvited. I don't know how they got in. I wish to be rid of them."
Are you asking for assistance from me? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are far more qualified.
She says, "Can you help me?"
I mean, well, Diaz
What-
takes a moment to kind of think to himself, like, how did I get here?
"If my husband were alive, I would ask him." And she looks at the empty chair.
I'll take a few steps towards the hatch.
Okay.
That seems like the bat sound
Yeah.
coming from.
You hear the faint rustling of the bat noises up ahead.
Yeah, and
Up above you.
as I'm walking that way, Diaz will ask, "What was your husband's name?"
Valen.
Valen, right. And what's your name?
Valencia.
That's fine. This is fine. Okay. Well, I mean, they're just bats, right? So So in that room, is there like a window that they can just be let out, or?
I don't know. I've never been up there.
Huh. So who knows what's up there? Like,
She looks at the empty chair.
I think she's asking you to be the new daddy.
oh no!
When you asked who does, you honestly just walked into that.
You can see now you've talked to her long enough to tell that she's probably a woman in her 50s or 60s, but has not ancient or decrepit in any way. Looks like she's preserved herself fairly well, or nature has. Or perhaps some noble embalming solution has, you're not sure.
Yeah.
The restorative properties of guano.
Exactly, yes, precisely.
I'm just.
You do at this point also notice that there is a little bit of guano on the floor here of the conservatory where it must have slipped through the cracks in the door and the ceiling, the hatch.
Oh God! All right. Well, I'm about to walk into some shit. So.
There's no easy way to get up there without a ladder, but you could pull something like a covered harpsichord over and basically leap up on that.
Yeah, I'll find like a piece of furniture to like pull over.
When you step on something, you hear this sort of blang sound as you put your foot on some cords.
Before I do that, I like look at her and be like, "Oh, may I?"
Please.
All right. So, yeah, I'll pull it over and like use that to elevate myself up to get closer to the hatch, and I'll just be like, "All right, I'm just gonna take a peek to see if it's something that maybe I can handle on my own, and if it isn't, I can get some assistance or contact the proper professionals for you."
All right, when you hop up and you push the hatch open, there is some pressure on the other side, but then you realize because the other side of the hatch is just covered with bat shit.
Yeah, so it's just the weight of it.
Yeah,
all.
the weight of it all. And so when you push the hatch away and it flops over, you hear it all kind of slough off onto the wooden attic floor. And you see up here is a spacious, vast chamber with light coming in through windows at the various ends, occasionally crossing the light passing over rafters that are caked in dust. And you can also see that there are actual holes in the roof through which sunlight is streaming, sending these rays down at various points and revealing clouds upon clouds of swarming bats.
Okay, so are these holes in the ceiling large enough to let the bats out? Or
Yes. The windows are closed and sort of caked in grime, but the holes are definitely big enough for the bats to come and go.
Okay.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Oh, nailed it. 30.
Wow. Okay. So you see as you gaze around that most of the attic was cleared out a long time ago. There's almost nothing up here, but sort of half caked in guano, really just sort of the suggestion of its shape is what appears to be an old set of manacles that have obviously rusted and corroded and are bolted to the floor at a sort of anchor point in the middle of the room so that anybody who was chained to the manacles could not reach a wall, a rafter, or a ceiling. And about 15 feet beyond that in what you can, or about 30 feet beyond that in what you consider to be the middle of the attic, there is something rising up out of the batshit. And you're pretty sure it is a coffin lying flat on the floor. And it does not appear to have a lid.
Okay.
Cool.
Neat.
There's literally no way to get to it without like stepping through the batshit. It's like a carpet of grayish white residue.
I'll descend out of the hatch for
Okay.
a moment. Breathe some fresher air.
Okay, the woman is gone.
Okay. Okay.
Nothing about the room has changed other than she's just gone.
Okay. Is there any other door or exit to this room?
To the conservatory?
Is
Yes, there is a set of double doors that are closed that lead out, you assume, to the heart of the third floor, probably a hallway, you imagine. There's also side doors, single doors on either end of the conservatory, and then there are 4 big windows. All 3 of which are covered by drapes. The other one is as open as it was left when you entered.
All right. I'm going to try to go towards the conservatory and just to see if there's still other people existing in this house.
Oh, okay. When you go to the door and you sort of put your ear up, you can hear sounds in the house beyond, suggesting there are people here.
Okay. And I don't have any sort of suggestion or evidence that
When you
one of
peer
these-
out, you can look into a sort of a hideously decorated hall with many doors leading off of it, and you can see that there is a maid basically taking a chamber pot downstairs. She's young.
Okay. I'm just gonna open the door a little bit so I can call out towards the chambermaid. Not let her see me.
Right.
I'll even disguise my voice a little bit
Okay.
and just be like, excuse me, did you see where Madame Valencia went?
She drops the chamber pot and runs screaming down the stairs for calling the other servants.
Good. Good.
Oh, good.
She's obviously absolutely terrified at what she just heard.
Yeah. Diaz shuts the doors like, I wasn't that bad, was I?
You turn around expecting somebody to be there, like nobody's there to hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Well, that's fine. This is bizarre. I gotta go. I would like to return to the rest of my crew post haste.
Okay. You're heading out through the window, I take it?
Yeah,
You're-
I'll probably just, go back down through that window that I came in through the first place, just to, or take that back. I'm actually gonna wait a few moments to try to observe and listen for where that chambermaiden went.
Okay.
Yes,
You heard her go downstairs, and she's talking to she's talking to what might be a butler or a valet, saying that she heard what she thinks is a ghost in the conservatory, possibly of Master Rajnar, the late Master Rajnar.
Master Rajnar.
Yeah, and then
New daddy.
yeah, it's around that time, Diath, as you're listening, that you realize that the bats have stopped flapping. You don't hear them anymore.
Oh, good. What? I'm gonna poke my head back up there, just make sure that there are still bats and I'm not going insane.
Yeah, when you go up there, you can see that the bats are still in the attic, but they have all quietly roosted on rafters and on the rooftop. They're just like little black hanging sacks of soft, supple, leathery flesh. Their wings wrapped tightly around their body.
That's adorable.
Okay, so they're all asleep. I am going to stealthily ascend into the attic and stealthily make my way towards that open coffin. Stealthily.
When you make your way to the open coffin and you look inside it, you see that it is empty, except for a thin crust of earth, upon which rests the shredded, stuffingless skin of a Strahd doll.
I'm sorry. The what of a Strahd doll?
The outer skin of a Strahd doll that is missing all of its stuffing and innards. It's just a flat Strahd doll skin.
It's just the skin, though. Okay.
Cool.
I'm glad.
BRB.
I didn't realize that my house was The Conjuring.
I like freeze at that sight. And it's just like immediate dread. Like instead of flight or fight, I'm getting freeze. And then I'll very, very carefully kind of just reach in to grab the remnants of the straw doll.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to get out.
Okay. And you do.
Okay, good. Close up the poop hole behind me.
What I miss? Are we dead? Cool.
So, Dieth, you have been keeping this secret to yourself now for weeks.
Wow, that's the way to call him out for sure.
You're sitting in the Waffle House, remembering this incident, playing it over in your mind over and over and over again. The finding of the doll skin.
Wow, it's almost like he knows you too well.
Chris, I object. This seems really out of character.
For weeks, Paulton's just like, I can't metagame too much, but I know you know something. I know you fucking know something.
All right.
Okay.
So you've been sort of sitting on this with the, obviously the discovery would cause widespread terror. You've obviously been making sure that the Waffle House is secure, and everything, your friends are able to get their shit together without dumping some horrible, horrible truth upon them. Where would you like to keep the skin of the Strahd doll?
Somewhere in my own private chamber.
Okay.
I have my own personal lockbox that's locked.
That's right.
But does not have a key. But I don't think I would taint those mementos with the skin of a Strahd doll.
Okay.
So I would likely keep it.
Certainly, during the reconstruction of the Waffle House, you could have had another secret chamber made within the walls or floor or ceiling of your room, if you so wish.
I don't think I'd make an extra one like
Okay.
that. I'd probably put it like. Wherever my bed is, I would actually probably pin it between the wall and the bed.
Okay. All right. And there it has remained.
So I'll just sleep with it in my room. This is fine.
At some point, Paulton, will walk by his room and just, when he's in there, and just violently knock, Dana! Come out here. Come out here now.
Everything's fine. Hold on. Dieth will quickly scramble and open the door. What?
It glares at him. He's just like, this house is now built on honesty after we had that therapy session, right?
Dieth
Right?
shuts the door.
Right? Hold it. Right? Let me get it right.
Paulton, you know that Dieth was unusually reticent during the therapy session.
Reticent?
Reserved, not ready to divulge much information.
I don't know what Strix is doing right now.
I suspect that she's got her bakery up and running.
Yeah.
So it is kind of late spring, and late spring is customarily a time of kind of rebirth for the city of Waterdeep as people sort of get about their daily lives. But weather-wise, it is one of the most temperamental seasons, and it has been a mixture of nice, warming weather, but also heavy rains and thick fogs. And a thick fog came into Waterdeep Harbor about a day and a half ago and has basically just been creeping its way up into the city ever since.
Oh, great. I hate that.
I would like to continue this conversation with Dieth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, You wouldn't hide anything from me, right? Right?
DS opens the door up a little bit. I would never do anything that would ruin your day.
He goes, okay. Because I can't help but notice that this is much more empty than I last remember. And if you've been getting in my stash, you could just ask.
DS opens the door a little bit and like looks past Paulton to see if Strix is nearby.
She might be. I don't know. If the bakery, is it later in the day or is it earlier in the day?
Let's say, for the sake of argument, it's fairly early in the day.
Okay. If it's early in the day, then she's going to be probably setting up things downstairs, getting everyone working and blah, blah, blah. And did Dieth give her the feather that he enchanted yet?
I'm sure, yeah.
Oh, okay. And she has that in her hair.
Nice.
Oh.
Evelyn is off at the temple, dealing with temple business. The only thing you know that she told you was that there's somebody arriving from out of town, some priest of great repute, and so and there's also various masses and vigils and things happening at the temple right now, and her presence is requested and required.
Okay, so after peeking past him to see if Strix is nearby at all, and she's not there, Dieth will then like grab Paulton and like pull him into his bedroom and shut the door. And just be like, all right, fine. Look, yes, fine. I didn't want anyone else to panic. And I didn't want them to get scared or do something irrational. But
I mean, I'm a little upset that she took some wine, but I mean, it's not that big a deal.
You say anyone else, and you're poignantly talking about Strix.
yeah, mostly, yes. I mean, even a little bit too. But anyway, yeah. So Dieth will just be like, it's not that I was hiding anything from anyone. I was just trying to find a good way to process it and figure out how we can handle this because I just don't know what it means. And Dieth will go to his bed and start like,
it's seriously just wine. It's not a big deal. Like, you don't have to make this a whole thing.
Paul, I'm not talking about wine. This conversation was never about wine.
Oh, shit. It was probably Squidly, a little punk ass.
Oh, no, that was me. But Dieth will pick up the remnants of the straw doll and just be like,
oh! Shh. Shh. Okay. Shh. We're doing shh. All right.
Did I hear someone say "oh" in there?
We're reciting our daily alphabet.
I told you not to have secret meetings without me.
We're not having secret meetings. It was a pleasure. Oh, it's getting raunchy in here. Don't come in.
I don't know what that means, but I think I'm upset about it. And you hear her stomp off.
Okay, good.
Strix, when you go downstairs, there is a stranger in the bakery.
Oh, God.
Looking at the display of pastries, breads, pies, and other goods that you have for sale. And Vivka, would you be so kind as to describe how Esvele Rajnar presents herself when she arrives here for the first time?
Well, when you first walk in, I have my back to you. I have like a large dark cloak on, as I assume it's probably getting a little chilly with that dang fog. And you see my form with the cloak and a very delicate, elegant hand picking up a pastry, turning it in her hand and looking at it it's just, you hear her say, "Oh, this is just so quaint."
Oh, thank you. I'd be careful of that one, though, because it has crickets in it for the kobolds.
She fumbles it a little.
We have customers from all over Faerun.
And you can see, first she turns and looks at you, and you can see the moment of her eyes when she realizes what you had said, and she puts it back down and kind of just wipes her hand a little bit, and she's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have touched without asking, but yes, your door was just open.
It's
Hello.
always open.
Good to know. But yes, hello, I am Esvele, and she kind of does a nice elaborate little, I suppose it's called curtsy.
Oh, Strix doesn't know how to answer that, so she just like very rigidly bows, like.
I had kept my curtsy and like looked up at you and just kind of nodded a little and came back up. You can see that I am dressed well, but my clothing has a few maybe loose seams and a little bit of patches of dirt. It's kind of like Disneyland up close or from far away. It looks pretty good, and then you get a little bit close, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Strix doesn't notice.
But she's like, oh well, I actually was here looking for someone. I was wondering if a DF lives here as well.
I'll go check. What was your name again?
Esvele.
I'll go check.
Esvele Rajna.
I'll go check if it lives here.
So Strix is like, feel free to touch the pies. We encourage that here. And she'll stomp upstairs. I'll be right back. And
right.
She kind of like looks around like to see if there's anyone else and uses prestidigitation to just close the door.
Okay.
Door's not always open.
So Strix goes stomping up the spiral staircase to the upper level, heading back toward Dieth's room, leaving Esvele alone downstairs.
With
And
cricket pies.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Strix like knocks on the door and she's like, "Are you guys done?"
No, we're taking a while here. We're taking our time.
So there's a lady at the door, Dieth, and I don't know if it's a bad lady or a good lady. Her name's Esmeralda Brajnar.
What? Oh.
I told her I didn't know if she lived here or not. Or if
Dieth
you
will.
lived here.
Dieth
Paulton
will-
like turns to Dieth quickly. He's like, "Oh, is there someone else?"
Am I hearing any of this upstairs?
It's a little bit far to hear that You probably hear Strix's voice because it sort of cuts through the walls.
I'm getting that vibe.
Exactly, but you can only hear kind of like murmurings and maybe the odd shuffling of feet or the groaning of floorboards. And actually, in this moment, while you're registering and keeping abreast of all those noises in the hopes that Dieth will present himself, you also start to feel a little exposed in this large room with its many windows looking out in all directions, and you start to sort of unconsciously pull the drapes shut, and maybe even take the liberty of like turning the open sign closed and putting the bar over the front door.
Oh,
All right.
no one's done that in a while.
But
Dieth will take the remnants of the straw doll and just quickly stash it away in probably one of his pouches,
okay.
or one of his personal packs. Just quick puts it away and and looks back at Paulton and is just like,
Turn that thing around. It's been here.
"No, this is related."
I can't.
What? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, I'm almost done. We're.
What's happening in there? Do you need help?
Paulton's just like, all right. This one's for the subreddit.
Do you need help?
Dieth opens the door like very quickly, just. and starts, "Thank you, Strix. Thank you."
Yeah.
But Dieth will start going downstairs, but not before he takes a moment to turn back to the two of them and just remind them that Lady Rajnar was the friend of Captain Ordame when we had the ship from
Oh.
Naru.
All right, then you can live here. I always check because people ask for you. It's probably someone that wants money from us or to kill us.
This might still be the same thing.
All right.
I hear
Go
that.
lock the doors.
Cool.
All right, so Dieth will go downstairs.
Okay. And you see Lady Rajnar for the first time down in the bakery, waiting.
I
Great.
have taken a chair and moved it to like the very corner of the room. So my back is up against the walls and I can clearly see all of the doors and windows.
Now, one of the chairs in this room, Lady Rajnar, is far superior to the others in terms of its decor and its gothic awesomeness. It almost looks like a velvet-lined, ebon-wooded throne.
Well, be sure it was heavy, but I had some time, so I dragged that one to the corner.
All
It's
right.
actually quite impressive.
Oh, you would sit on the straw chair.
Did I go down there as well?
That's up to you. Are you following Dieth down?
Yeah, I want to see who's here.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll follow
Yes.
you down too.
Then the three of you all see this this woman, this well-presented figure, sitting on Stradvan Cherovich in a corner of the room so that she can see the entirety of the bakery before her.
Cool.
everything
Can I animate the chair just to like topple over and dump her out?
Yes, you do have that power. Esvele, you are shocked very suddenly as a young dark-haired man coming down the spiral staircase narrows his eyes at you, wiggles or just basically hums a little few bars of a tune, and suddenly the chair tries to heave you out of it.
Very surprised it takes me and kind of boop, like pops me up.
Yeah.
But to your surprise, I catch myself. I do not fall at all, and I fall very gracefully, tip-tapping on my wonderful little heels.
Yes.
Is she out of the chair?
Yes.
Yes, I'm out of the chair.
That's all I care about. I want it to like like walk back over to me.
Okay.
God,
I just want to slowly sit in it and cross my legs and just.
Dieth will start approaching her and he'll just say, I apologize. It's Paulton's favorite chair, and he's got this whole thing about it.
We have a very
I-
special relationship.
I dust off my garment. I apologize. I had no idea. I'm not used to such curiosities. It is entirely my mistake. I came into your home and I touched your pies. I sat in your chair. It's still in the corner, though.
Paulton's just like, no, it's okay. I guess he looks at the chairs like there's an openness that we did not discuss, apparently. We'll be working that out in the near future.
Oh, good. I helped you with therapy. Excellent.
While she's speaking the entire time, Dieth is just discerning her to see if she resembles any particular, I don't know, apparition he may have seen within the past few weeks.
Oh, yes. Just make a perception or insight, your choice.
Definitely perception then. Yeah, 25.
Her visage is familiar to you, not necessarily because you recognized it in the veiled woman you spoke to, but because you're pretty sure you saw a painting of her on the wall of the staircase that the chambermaid was walking down.
Oh, okay. All right, still
It was a nice velvet painting.
enough confirmation for me.
Yeah.
But anyways, I bow again to Strix. Like, oh, we've met before, and the chair boy, hello, it's wonderful to meet you. And she bows to both of them, and then she turns and she's like, oh, and you are?
Dieth will take her hand, like, I am Dieth Woodrow.
Oh, good. I was hoping it was you. Oh, it is so nice to meet you. She keeps her hand there.
Dieth kind of like takes and just shakes it a little bit.
Ah. All right then. But yes, so I heard that a couple weeks ago you came around my manor and you were looking for me.
Yes, Esvele, Lady Rajnar.
Oh, it's fine, but I'm not in the house. I'm not in the manor right now. You can definitely call me Esvele.
All right, Esvele. Yeah, I've been meaning to speak with you for some time, ever since we had returned to Waterdeep. I would have loved to find you sooner, but sadly our paths just did not cross in time.
Also, our house was destroyed like 7 times.
That is something I all too much can understand. And
Yeah. Don't you hate
I'm-
when you have house problems?
and her eyes just kind of glaze over a little as she looks kind of past you, and she's like, yes, indeed I do. But I'm sorry that I haven't been around. Unfortunately, I've been predisposed.
Yeah, well, Esvele, Lady Rajnar, I only wish to say that it was thanks to your close friend, Captain Ordame, that we returned from Chult back to Waterdeep, and we would not have made it back here without him. And we forever owe him her our thanks and our lives, thanks to her. And with that, is with my heavy heart, I must relay to you that she lost her life in that voyage, bringing us home.
Oh, as I said, I have been gone. I have away. I haven't really checked in with the Brazen Pegasus in a while. She looks around for a chair to sit in and fears all of them. So instead, she just kind of leans a little bit against the corner wall. Oh my! Did she suffer? It's probably
I'm so sorry. Strix, could you get her something to drink?
Would you like a go away juice, or would you want like sad juice, or do you want some tea, or some of Paulson's special reserve?
Oh, hold up now.
She gives Strix a long top to bottom look, not bad, but just very inquisitive, and she's like, whatever has the least crickets.
Oh, all right. Well, only the pies over there have crickets. Again, they're for the kobold guests. See, I have to provide for everyone. All right, I'll be right back. She goes in the kitchen and she'll pour her, just like make like her like hot toddy.
Yep.
Since it looks like a little chilly outside. So.
While you do that, the Albie, your albino gazer.
Oh yeah, well, Albie, I forgot about you.
Miniature beholder who spends most of his time just sort of hovering around in the kitchen, doing stuff. He helps as best he can, and might actually kind of, because he's kind of a little degenerate. Just kind of drools in the cup a bit.
Oh, well, I'll scoop that out.
Okay, you can do that.
It might actually have some healing properties. Who knows?
Yeah.
Feeling quite healthy, thank you.
Yes.
Chris, I still have the hand, right?
You
still around?
Yeah.
All right. So as Paulton's just kind of sitting in the chair, just like listening, like a little like hand just crawls up and just chills on Paulton's shoulder.
When that happens, Esvalet, you see that the severed hand appears to be a withered, sort of blackened with age hand. It's not clear at a glance what the hand came from, but definitely a humanoid.
My breath catches in my throat and I gasp a little and I reach out and I grab Dieth's arm and I'm like, what kind of hand is that?
Oh, that's Handrew.
He's chill.
I wasn't really speaking of its personality. Of what creature did it come from?
Oh, it's
Doesn't matter. It's not theirs anymore. Give him a little like fist bump.
Strix comes in with the she's made now hot toddies for everyone.
And floating behind Strix, you see is this small grapefruit-sized beholder, white, with sort of misshapen features, drool coming out of the one corner of its mouth, and 4 stumpy little eye stalks looking around.
It's so cute.
In all directions.
My grip on his arm tightens.
Strix is like sees that and is holding the cups like really tight for some reason.
Paulton sees it too. He's just like.
And she puts the cups down in front of them and one in front of Paulson, and you notice that they're now boiling. So the water they're just like boiling on fire, and she just like sits down like.
Paulton sees the boiling cup. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna give that like an extra 5 minutes.
I reach out for it, see it, and learn to second look everything in this house, and kind of politely recoil back for a second, like, oh yes, indeed.
I don't think you're a nice lady.
It's safe. That's Valet. Strix, it's safe.
I hope to prove you wrong.
Don't
then?
like crickets, and and just that's kind of rude. I work really hard on my pies, and it doesn't. She's just mumbling to herself.
As Valet looks around at the group, she looks at the hand, she looks at Strix that is, grumbling. She looks at the beholder and she pulls herself up, brushes her skirt off, marches right over, picks up one of the cricket pies, eyes straight to Strix, and eats one. She has like a little
She like crosses her arm, just like.
Gross.
She has like a little cricket foot that's like kicking her mouth a little, and you can see like the eye twitch a little. She did not think this plan through, but she really wanted to have a good first impression.
Good.
Paulton's still
Good.
He goes, so if I may ask, you come into our home, and I just want to know what are your intentions with our boy Diath?
Well, to speak so bluntly, originally he came into my home and was looking for me.
Yeah, I was just trying to find her.
Diath, you've been sneaking out at night?
No.
Yes, friends, we don't know. There's so many secrets.
No, guys, we talked about this.
Sturks is like lying on the ground, going,
Have
"No
you
one
been
told
going-
me anything."
Have you been going out without telling us?
Oh, Diath ignores them and just turns back to Espoli. And just says that if there's anything that we can do for you for Captain Ordame, please let us know. But we just
She jumps out and grabs his hands in hers. Well, I'm actually so happy you said that because I can't help but to notice as I look around, I have been in need of a certain type of adventure, I suppose, and sometimes the situation just presents itself. I do need your help, actually, and this would go a far way of making me feel better about the untimely death of my captain, who was wonderful and I really care about, and I'm very sad. I basically gave up her life for you. No big deal.
from the side, like his hands being held, he's just like, yeah. What is it that you need?
Well, she turns around and checks over her shoulders again, feeling again exposed, and kind of still holding your hands, kind of pulls you back towards a wall a little bit away from the window. I am in a bit of a pickle. I am currently in hiding. There are some who wish to do me and my family harm. In fact, it is unfortunately why I was unable to meet with you when you came to look for me. Oh, pardon. But
Strix is also like right behind you now. She's like right behind you. Like you don't even know how she misty stepped right behind you.
Getting
She's,
some
like, right
getting some real vibes here.
She's like right. She's like, and you can just smell how bad she smells. Like right there.
I'm going to do my best to push through that.
Okay. Stifle your gag reflex, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm still working on that cricket. I need two certain items that I just do not think that I can obtain myself, being a lady of nobility and having to unfortunately hide myself as of late. I don't have the can-do attitude that you and, I look over my shoulder, your band of plucky friends actually have. I actually need.
At that point, everything in the room goes dead silent.
Like we can't hear voices anymore?
Her voice is completely just.
And I read lips.
And every sound is just completely muted, like the entire room is in a silence spell.
It's a silence. No one can see me say it's a silence spell. I start running around in circles, like this. Like
you see, Paulton's like trying to scream over. He's like,
Strix like takes her staff and turns it into the magical like quill, and in the air writes, "Dispel magic." And points at Paulton.
I notice none of this, and I am still just like talking at Dia.
Dieth is looking around very confused because at first he thought it was just him. Just
Paulton like looks to Dieth. He's just like,
I'm so used to people letting me talk, I'm still going.
turns to her is just.
Okay. Dieth usually has like a writing utensil or a quill or parchment or something nearby because he has always been a studious note taker.
He could also take the one from Strix's hair.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't dare touch that one. So he's gonna grab that real fast and then just hand it to Lady Rajnar, and just kind of like motion to like write it down. And while she does that, I'm actually gonna try to peek through some of the window blinds or anything to see if there's anyone or anything nearby who could have caused this, because it was none of us.
Right.
When he starts going and opening up the blinds, I am very distracted by that. I am very nervous. I'm peeking over his shoulder outside. As he like leaves the window, I close the blinds again.
Dieth, as you look out, you see that the fog of spring has pretty much clouded the Troll Skull Alley. You can see out about maybe 20, 30 feet, and it seems sort of deathly quiet, except maybe often just on the periphery of the edge of your view, you see dark shapes that suggest people just making about their daily business, oblivious to the current situation affecting you. You don't hear them, they don't seem at all drawn toward you. They just carry on about their business.
Got it. So it's just in here.
Is this familiar?
I will start looking around too for someone who casts a spell. If Paulton's not casting counterspell, even though I've written it like 15 times, not in the air.
Oh, it's like written?
Or not yeah, it's like in the air. It says dispel magic, not counterspell. You have dispel magic, and now it's starting to say you have dispel magic.
I do?
You do,
Oh, I
but
do.
Paulton, you know that dispel magic has a verbal component which won't work in a silence.
He's like,
Oh no.
And just Strix just like shit writes it.
you see Paulton silently just like,
All right, I'm going to quick check the what you call it, the basement real fast, the cellar,
Yep.
to see if the area of the silence affects the other floors as well.
Okay. When you open the hatch, you're shot. Something comes up out of the darkness and hits you.
a magic gun.
But you don't hear it. You just feel it.
I scream in pain. Oh no!
Nobody
we see
hears
this?
you. You all see, as Dieth opens the hatch to the basement, him suddenly just sort of fly backward as if hit with some terrible force.
Oh no!
And you take 20 points of damage from that shot. And Dieth, you feel like some of that is poison working through your system.
Uncanny dodge.
You take 10.
Paulton's
But still
he's
poison.
just,
Yep.
There's not even like a save on the poison or anything.
There's no save on the poison.
That's good poison. That's bad poison. Okay. Yep. Okay, so after being shot and stumbling backwards,
We should roll initiative.
Oh heck.
25.
25 for Dieth.
17.
Do I have my rapier on me? Am I doing this?
Yeah, you do have your weapon on you.
I'm doing this.
All right.
Oh.
Paulton's gonna.
5? What?
5.
5. Paulton, sorry.
And
I got 17.
Okay. Strix?
19 for
19.
Strix.
Okay.
Alton also turns to her and is just like in dead silence, just like.
Damn it. All right, I rolled 25.
Okay, you're first.
Great. So,
The hatch door is open.
all right. So after summoning back from getting shot, Dieth will stand up, withdraw Gutter, and then check his shot wound. Is there like a bolt or arrow there?
No, it is. You see the hole, and you think you were shot with something small and incredibly painful, almost like an intensely fired sling stone.
Oh, feels so good. Also, just for the sake of fairness, the poison effect at the start of my turn, end of my turn.
It actually is an instantaneous poison. The effect is now ended.
Oh, okay. So just extra damage.
Yep.
How much was the poison damage again? I'm sorry.
So in total, with the projectile and the poison together, ended up doing 10 points of damage to you because of your uncanny dodge.
Okay, got it. Just want to make sure I had that right. Okay. Well, that's not good. Can the others see me like react, bleeding and weapon out?
Yes.
Yeah. Dieth will just like point to the Aoi and then point towards the hatchery or to the cellar. And then I'm just gonna freaking leap right on down there. It's gonna look real cool.
Okay.
Like not even use the ladder, just whoop.
Yep. When you drop down into the cellar, make a perception check at disadvantage.
Oh. I mean, it's fine. Still gonna be because I got my reliable talent, so it's gonna be a 21.
Great. You can see in the ale cellar that you've just leapt into, standing right near you, is a dark elf with a device in his hand, the likes of which you have not seen before. It is almost wand-like, but has a strange curved handle, and his finger is on some sort of trigger-like mechanism, and there is smoke coming out of the end of it.
Well, I hate this.
There is another one standing in another corner
Oh, jeez.
with a loaded weapon.
Oh, he's got one of those thingies too.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. And it's just the two of them though?
As far as you can see.
Great. Can I hear things down here?
No.
Damn it.
Dead silent.
That's awful. Okay. Down here, facing up between the two of them, I am going to take the defensive action.
Okay.
And just get ready to dodge whatever the heck the other guy's going to do.
Great. They go right now. The one standing in front of you, who fired at you on the surprise round, seems to... what does he do? Let me just double check this. Yeah. No. Sorry. I just need to look this up very quickly.
Just got to look up to see how bad this is going to be.
All right.
I get
He will keep the weapon that he has in one hand, but draw a short sword and attempt to stab you with that twice.
All right.
And he rolls a 19 and an 11.
That with the disadvantage from my defensive.
Oh, I'm sorry.
stance?
You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So he rolled an 11 and a 20.
Oh, okay. The 20 still hits.
Okay.
But it's after like a bunch of cool parries and
Yep.
stuff.
Now, you will take 19 points of damage as you see that some of that too is also poison.
Okay. Got it.
And then his buddy will shoot at you silently with his weapon, and he's at disadvantage too. He rolled an 18 total.
Oh, that hits as well.
Okay. Then, oops, curses. He does 22 points of damage total.
All right, I want to uncanny dodge that one.
You take 11.
Good. Still ours.
All right. And then the third one that you didn't see
Oh, come on!
Oh my god!
becomes visible and tries to assassinate you from underneath the stairs with his short sword. He's got advantage or disadvantage is neutralized.
And this is how I die. In roaring silence.
Dieth, some preternatural instinct of yours tipped you off because even though you couldn't hear him in the dead silence, there was just some moment where you slipped out of his grasp and his weapon does not find purchase.
That's right.
Which is lucky because that would have been bad.
Yeah. At this point, it's like I know these drow assassinations work.
And now it is Strix's turn. Strix, you have heard nothing. Dieth just went down into the hatch.
Well, I literally can't cast any.
I lost them. And we're back.
And everything's okay.
It was
Yeah, we won. It was great.
Yes, just
nuts.
Wow.
We
actually weren't that strong. That was easy.
we discovered that Strix can't cast any spells in the silence, so that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's her turn. So
Yeah, someone looked that up. So, what I can do is I can transform my staff. So, I will scuttle up to the hole that Dieth jumped into.
you see him
Yeah.
engaged in combat with one drow at the foot of the stairs.
Okay, and I would like to hover my lantern. Well, my right now it's a feather. Turn it into a cauldron and drop it on top of this drow.
Just like throw it on top of him.
Yeah, like I'm gonna position it and just drop it on him.
Okay, well you're gonna have to kind of hurl it down the stairs over Dieth to hit the drow, because Dieth is between you and the drow. So go ahead and make an improvised ranged attack. It's a D20 plus your dexterity bonus.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm so excited.
Oh.
Add your dexterity bonus.
Okay, that's 14.
Okay, so it's the drow sees the cauldron coming and dodges out of the way, and it silently strikes the floor of the cellar and goes tumbling off into the darkness.
I'd like to imagine it was like slowly floating towards him.
Yes.
And he's just like,
I want them to see me yelling "pike off" and gesturing rudely.
Okay, that they can do.
Okay.
And then it is Paulton's turn.
Help.
okay, so I'm going to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And then can I run down there and see what I see?
You can indeed.
Cool.
And when you go down there, make a perception check. Actually, invisibility has verbal components.
Oh, I thought it was just touch.
No, verbal somatic material. You're out of luck.
Okay. All right, then I'm just gonna, let me see here. Thunderwave doesn't have verbal, does it? I don't think so.
Let's find out.
I don't see anything.
Well, there is that. If thunder goes off in a silence, can anything happen? So yes, it does have verbal, as a matter of fact.
Cool.
Almost all spells do, by the way.
So I'm super certain that none of my spells will really work.
Being a bard, this is your curse, man. Silence is not bard friendly.
All right,
not
cool.
sorcerer friendly either.
True.
Normally, I love it.
Okay, well then, I guess if no spells are working, I'm like trying to do stuff. I'm just like,
Now you do have one spell that you've been concentrating on that's still up, and that's your animate object.
Do it. Sit in the chair.
Do it.
fine. I'm gonna tell the chair to just romp on down there and kill the first thing that isn't Diath it sees. I'm trying all this stuff that I look to the chair. I'm just like,
And you can see the chair's like tapping silently, expectantly, waiting for some command. All right, so you send the chair down the stairs. Diath, you don't hear it coming, but through some sort of backlight up in the room above, you do see something coming down. You think it's going to be your friends, and suddenly you see you see the dark silhouette of Strahd von Cherevich at the top of the staircase, and then it comes stomping down toward you.
misty backlight beams just like silhouetting it, just like this is your savior, is a chair.
All right, and so roll a d20, Paulton, and add 5 for the chair's attack roll.
Okay. 23.
That hits the drow. It does.
Okay.
It does 2d6 plus 1 points of damage.
Just punch it with his arm rest.
Going back on its 2 legs and
Yes.
punching.
Oh, yeah.
10.
Okay, it does 10 points of first damage done to the drow.
Friggin' Beauty and the Beast status.
So this drow is silently assailed by this gothic chair.
Even Paulton's looking at it, it's just like,
All right, and then it is Esvalé's turn.
So I go over and I've seen cauldrons getting thrown down there. I have seen chairs running off in there. I go and I take a peek down.
Mm-hmm.
Do I...
You see a Diath and a chair battling a drow at the bottom of the staircase in the dark,
Okay,
in the otherwise dark cellar.
Everyone can see me silently say something that is just so not ladylike, and I unsheath my rapier and jump down.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna attack this. I'm gonna work my way around the chair, and I am going to attack the that first drow that I see
Okay.
with Vindication.
Right. So you can make your attack starting with your first
Yes.
one.
Yes, indeed I will. So the first one is 14.
That the drow dodges out of the way of that. Oh, by the way, you have advantage because you have an ally fighting next to it. So you roll 2 dice and
That's right. And actually, I didn't add my addition to it, so that was actually a 21.
That hits.
Okay. The second one is a 26.
That hits.
Ooh. Oh. And then that last one was 2 ones in a row.
Okay. You're rolling these Titanic dice. It sounds like just like
yeah, right?
big giant.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's great. That's lovely. So you hit.
You know I'm actually doing it.
You hit twice, and you can use your sneak attack if you want to on your first attack.
Yes, I was going to say I
All right.
definitely would like to. So now I need to roll the damage on 2 of them, right?
Yep.
All right.
And the
so
sneak attack damage only applies to 1 attack.
Okay. So the sneak attack is.
Oh, actually, no, that's a total lie. My mistake. You get it on both. No, I'm right. Once per turn. Sorry.
It's once per turn.
Don't play with me like that.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
I can read.
Okay, so the first one. Oh man, getting rid of that. All right, the first one was 5.
Okay.
Oh wait, and then add the sneak attack to it. That is 19.
Well then. Okay.
And then the second one
He's looking worse for wear.
is an 8.
Okay. And that drow is now bloodied.
Ooh.
That's the one at the bottom of the stairs fighting Dieth, the chair. And when Esvele leaps into battle Dieth, you can see that she is very puissant, skilled with the rapier, making 3 stabbies and getting the drow once really good between the blades of his shoulders.
She is far more capable than I expected.
The third time I only missed because I was checking over my shoulder to assess your damage.
Oh, okay.
Which you'd know if you could hear what she was saying to you, but...
Oh no, he could see it. It was in the eyes.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you're doing that, you see Strix just throwing a cauldron at the drow, failing like miserably, and going. "Ah!"
All right, the drow exchange hand signs with each other, surprisingly calmly, just given the current situation and intensity of what's going on. Dieth and Esvele, you know what they're saying because you speak the language.
Yep.
And they are saying, let's turn our attacks on her. She must have the stone in her possession.
I got a hand sign for him.
And so they all shift they all shift toward Esvele. Dieth, what do you do?
Okay. So the one that the chair was fighting, was that the bloodied one?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I want a combo attack with this fucking chair.
Okay, have at it.
So
You leap up on the chair as it's attacking.
I actually I vault over the chair, and using that extra height allows me to vault like basically moonsault over the drow himself, so I can land behind him.
Very good.
And then attempt a sneak attack.
Excellent. Have at it.
Even though he can't say anything, like after like the hand signs happen, Paulton's just like, oh, they're activating their jutsu.
I roll a 21.
Hit.
Hey! Many dice. Let me show you how a sneak attack is done, lady.
Come on, impress me.
1 second.
Strix is so bad.
42.
What? All right. Yeah, he had 42 hit points left. So, yes. How do you want to do this?
Yeah, it's just like the moonsault over the chair. So Dieth comes down and lands behind him, but is like facing his back.
Uh-huh.
And then it's just like pierce right through the chest. As soon as it gets all the way through, so there's no more blades, an instant twist, and then pulls out. So that is the moment he pulls out, like the drow just falls to the floor.
Yeah.
And then Dieth can like do a quick swipe of this blade, like get all the blood off of it, and then turn towards the others, but still holding his wounds.
Very good. As the drow dies and the blade rips out from his torso, he spews a gout of blood all over your face and neck, Esvele, but you're not at all troubled or distressed by this death throw.
Sorry.
In fact, given the satisfaction with which you see the life leave his eyes, you're probably just like,
All right.
Yes, and as a bonus action, I definitely raise an eyebrow in approval.
okay.
You can't hear him, but Paulton's like, oh, my Hokage.
Little hearts fly in the air around
We
Paul.
don't get the team attack very often, Paulton, so I'll take what I can get.
All right, the two remaining dark elves, one of them is going to shoot Esvalet. Rolling, and you see something must have happened to his weapon because it didn't go off, and now he's looking at it and obviously angry that something has gone wrong with the mechanism. His friend darts over from the corner and tries to stab you twice. But apparently their dexterity has completely failed them on this round, Esvalet, and he practically trips and stumbles his way over the dead corpse of his friend and the chair that is basically taking up a great deal of space.
It wasn't silent, they could hear me laugh.
Indeed. And that brings us to Strix.
All right. I watched this whole exchange with anger. And grossed out because the blood is gross. Do I see her enjoy the blood?
Enjoy it?
I wouldn't say I enjoyed it.
I'm suspicious. That's all I'm saying.
I've picked up on that.
she just seems inured to it, like, it's not the first time she's seen real blood.
All right. Okay, well, Strix is just like, And then I'm going to, I was still impressed by the chair antics, but I'm going to go down and go grab my cauldron.
Okay, when you do, you will, to get down the stairs and get to your cauldron, you will provoke an attack of opportunity from the drow who is accosting Esvalet with his sword.
And I can't Misty Step.
No. Let me check the spell. I think it's got a verbal.
I've been checking them all. I'm pretty sure I can't do anything.
Misty Step is a verbal, so no.
God, everything is bad. This sucks. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll get stabbed. It's fine.
Okay. He will attempt.
In fact, I'm just gonna run by, just like stab me. It's fine. Just like stab me.
Fair enough. He rolled a 17 on the attack roll.
Yeah, of course it hit.
All right. Oops, wrong die. So it's going to do 21 points of damage, including poison damage to you.
All right. Ow.
And
you asshole.
And you slip by and you grab your heavy cauldron. What do you do next?
All right. All right. I will.
You got it by the handle.
Okay. I will turn it into the frying pan and hit the drow on the back of the head.
All right.
As hard as I can.
Okay, make an attack roll.
All right. Oops, okay.
Over the head with both her hands. Just...
Yep. Go and tick away.
I rolled a 2.
Okay. So you sort of swing wildly, spinning around in the silence, but you don't actually connect.
Yes, that's what I do. And I look really stupid. And I'm pretty sure that everyone in the room is going to judge me.
Paulton?
I'm not judging.
You're at the top of the stairs with Handrew. You can continue to command your chair to assail these foes.
Okay.
Or you can do some other action.
What was the...
It's a bonus action, by the way, to mentally command the chair, so...
Oh, even better. Okay, well, I'm going to go... So I'm at a point where did I see the drow, like, at the stairs, like, making these attacks, or do I still have no idea it's there?
You see another drow has entered the scene that you can see at the bottom of the stairs. After the first drow fell, he came and tried to kill Esvalet.
Okay.
And you know there's one under the stairs because yeah.
That's the one I want to go for. Okay. So so for my action, I'm gonna, I guess, use the Sun Sword.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and stab this boy.
It becomes very bright in the room, and then this light sword goes slamming down through the wood, between the wooden slats of the stairs at this dark elf. Make an attack roll.
All right, so that is +2. 14.
14 does not hit.
Cool. Well, I get annoyed, and I'm gonna command the chair to go attack that one.
All right. Yes, the chair can sidle over under the stairs and start wailing on this guy. Make another attack roll at +5 to hit.
Okay. Ooh, 21.
That hits. Roll 2d6 + 1 for damage.
Why is the chair better than this? 11.
11. Very good. First damage this guy's taken. This chair silently accosting this drow. And then
I see this and I just look at the chair and I look at the sword. I look at the chair and I just slowly put the sword away.
the blade goes out, goes dark, and you just pocket the hilt. All right, and then Esvele. Esvele, you have a foe next to you and Dieth and Strix.
Okay, well, is this the one that attacked me or is this the one that tried to shoot me?
This is the one that tried to attack you last round and did not score a hit.
Well, let's see if I can return the favor. I am going to reel back my rapier again, and I am going to start slicing. I used more gentle die this time than my metal die before. Okay, so that is a 26.
Hit.
Natural 20.
All right, crit.
And carry the 2, 12.
Okay, the 12 is a miss, but you scored a crit, so that will do double dice damage.
Cool, it's that last one that never quite hits right.
And you can apply the crit to your sneak attack for the round.
Oh, yeah. All right, I like this. So then it's 45.
Good Lord. All right. That's the first. That's the crit.
That's the first attack.
Yep.
And then for the other one, it is 8. I hit real hard with that first one.
All right. Yes, but the first attack alone bloodied him, and then you just put an extra sauce on with the second hit and dealt him a wound that will probably leave a scar if he survives. And then. Oh dear, we're back to Dieth. So Dieth, you're down to 2 adversaries, one of whom just took a hideous blow from Esvele. The other one is being accosted under the stairs by Strahd von Cherevich. You're closest to the former. What would you like to do?
I'm going to go after the one that Esvele just hit, because I'd rather be able to remove more threats while I can.
Okay.
Yeah, so that Strahd von Cherevich is distracting that guy. I'll go to the one that Esvele was messing up and then try to get a good old stab in him.
Good. All right. You have advantage.
Ooh, all right. Boop. Well, it's not great. No, that's still 22.
Hit.
Okay, great. Is that a sneak attack? Because I got a...
Yes, it is.
It's a lot of dice. It's no crit, but it's a lot of dice. That's 3 1s. Wow. 35.
All right, you kill him.
Good.
So again, another one goes splashing down in bloodbath and slumps on the floor. Its life expires.
Did he have one of those weird-looking stick thingies?
He does. All 3 of them do have these weird weapons.
Okay.
I take the pad of paper that I was given earlier and I write really quickly, I softened him up for you, and I shove it into your hand.
Okay. You uncrumple it and look at it. It's like...
Dia just looks at it and gives you a face like, what does it matter? And then tosses it away.
I roll my eyes because boys just don't get it.
All right. And then it is the bad guy's turn. There's 1 left. Oh, all right. So the writing is on the wall. So is his friend's blood. And he pulls out a vial, drinks it, and turns invisible. So the one that the chair is attacking under the stairs suddenly disappears.
All right.
And then it is Strix's turn.
So
there's one drow down here, Strix, but you can't see him now.
All right. Do any of them? Did that one have the jaunty hat by chance?
No.
Okay, good. Just curious. All right. Well, I'm just gonna swing wildly with my frying pan and hope I hit him.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack. Make an attack roll with disadvantage on your attack roll.
It's really sad.
Oh, please. Nothing to make me happier.
Oh man, if I had gotten it, I got a natural 20 and a 14.
Oh,
So 14
okay.
was my disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, do I add I don't think I add anything.
No, you don't. So sadly, the invisibility denies you your prize. You go swinging in the area where you think he is, but there's nothing there.
All right, but
I'm sure
at
you
least,
spooked him.
yeah, I hope I spooked him.
You sure did. And then,
Ah, she's crazy.
Paulton, you're on the stairs. You can't see the drow anymore that your chair was attacking. What do you do? Now you know that there are only two ways out of this cellar. One is through a gate leading down into the sewers, which is probably how they got in here, and the other is up the stairs past you.
So, okay, fairy fire is also verbal, right?
It is, yes.
Okay, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do, since I know that, let's see. So, okay, so there's the stairs, which I'm kind of like at the top at, and then there's the gate where they probably came in from.
Right, down in the cellar, yeah.
Is that...
And you can't see the gate from here unless you sort of crouch down on the stairs and kind of look down at an odd angle, half behind you.
Could I do that without using my action?
Yes, just as part of a move, you could.
Can I like look down to see if the gate looks like it's just been opened?
You can, and you do notice that it is currently hanging open.
So from that, I'd assess that he probably left.
Potentially, or they left it open when they entered.
Okay, well, just in case, as my action, I'm going to take the sun sword back out and then just swing directly in front of me.
All right, make an attack roll. Because the potential target's invisible, you have disadvantage. So roll 2 dice and take the lower result.
Frying pan flailing, sun sword.
Also, before he does that, he doesn't say it because there's no sound, but he thinks to himself, he looks at the sword and goes, "Oh, right, finesse. That would have been helpful." So with that in mind...
With your dexterity applied, yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it plus just the dexterity, or also...
And also your proficiency bonus. So yeah. So you're as a 10th level character, you have a proficiency bonus of +3.
We're 11th level.
4.
So we have
Yeah, you're 11th level.
Oh,
so you're
okay.
+4 plus your dexterity.
So that's a dirty 20.
All right. So that's even with disadvantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You actually cut into him because he was trying to run past you. So
I just hit something. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I was right. Oh shit, cool.
So the silence rings. Your surprise is drowned out by the spell, but everyone can see it nonetheless. Roll your damage.
Okay, so that is okay, cool. So 12.
Okay, so the rest of you can see the radiant blade cut into something fleshy and splatter blood all over the stairs. And also you smell burnt drow flesh, and
I recognize that smell.
And then whatever it is seems to try to push its way past Paulton and continue running up the stairs, leaving a trail of blood behind it.
Good.
Holly, I would like you to make for me, or no, sorry, never mind. I have to make this roll.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't
Sorry.
like it.
Never mind. Nothing to see here. So clearly, after Paulton stabbed whatever this invisible drow, it continued to run up past him and is now up in the bakery somewhere. And it is Esvalet's turn. Your quarry is fleeing.
Well, yeah, I'm going to. So the drow is invisible, but it's leaving a trail of blood that I can see.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, I'm gonna finish what we started. I'm gonna pop right up those stairs with a quickness and see if I can catch up to this hopefully limping slow drow.
All right. As you follow the trail, you can see that the drow is clearly trying to make its way around. Actually, he probably leaps over the counter, probably spilling a little bit of blood on the glass and maybe even on some of the pies. And then is making its way to the door. You can follow easily enough and make an attack. Because even though you can follow the blood trail, you still can't see it, so you have disadvantage on your attack rolls.
Good thing I locked all those doors.
That's true. Yes, you did.
Take them another minute to get through. Yeah, I'm not. Seemed to work for them. I'm going to run up on the trail of blood and just kind of, finesse flare. It's more like a, like rapier. Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is a 21.
Hit.
And the next one is a 19.
Hit.
And then a 15.
No.
The third one. It's a bum shoulder from college. I just can't get that third hit in.
So you hit twice then. So go ahead and give me your damage.
Do I need to see the person to be able to do the sneak attack?
You need advantage, so
yeah, you need advantage.
Oh, okay.
Just regular hits.
Regular, yeah.
All right, so that is. That's 14 for both of them.
You can't hear anything, but you do feel the end of your weapon piercing flesh. There's no indication that you have killed your quarry. No big splash of blood on the floor. No weird outlines that would suggest a bodily form has fallen at your feet. And it is Diath's turn.
All right. So I'm gonna use my cunning action to dash, so I get extra movement. And then I'm just gonna also chase after this guy, seeing where Espelay was previously attacking it and being able to hit him.
Yep.
So I'm going to use most of my movement to catch up to him, make an attack, and then use the rest of my movement to stand in front of the door.
Got it. Go ahead and make your attack.
All right, so this is still a disadvantage, though.
The disadvantage is negated by Esvalay's presence, so it's just a normal attack roll.
So regular attack. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 26.
That's a hit.
Right,
and you get your sneak attack.
All right, sneak attack due to the ally. I need one more dice. Did I drop one? I dropped one. Oh, there it is. 10, 11, 13, 17, 20, 22, 26, 30, 35.
Okay, for the third time in as many rounds, Diath assassinates a drow incursor. And you're pretty sure that this drow is dead because of the blood pouring strangely around his body now lying on the floor.
Does he reappear after death?
He is still invisible.
Okay. So after Diath kind of stabs him, and then when he feels dying, slump down, Diath just kind of falls with it, and then pulls a sword out, just kind of flops over onto the ground, just
Yes.
Still bleeding and stuff from his wounds.
All right. We are out of combat, and after about another, I want to say 8 or 9 minutes, the silence ends.
Ugh.
And as soon as it ends, I point out that, well, yes, you may have gotten the killing blow 3 times. I'm just pointing out that each time I was
my God. Ow!
I was right there, waiting for it. I was waiting for it to end. I did soften them.
Strix would like to go and use mending on that gate, if I could.
Okay.
The one they broke in?
So they basically just they use their thieving ability to pick the locking mechanisms. So you just have to, you just really have to close it and relock it.
Okay. All right. I'll close it and relock it and just complain, and then I'll go back upstairs. And then when I see the blood on the pies, I'm gonna be like, "No, my pie!" and start crying.
Paulton goes down to Strahd von Cherevich and kneels to him. He's just You did good, bud. That'll do. And wants to try and give him a little fist bump.
Oh my god.
All
The
right.
leg like, curls up. Just...
Yeah. All right.
I guess
Excellent.
Dieth bandages himself.
Oh no, Strix was gonna go up and after she cried about the pies, go up and heal him.
Oh, okay, I see where the priorities lie.
Look, we have debts to repay, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do. Let's see. I'll heal a pretty high spell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see how many points you get back. Hold on. I don't heal enough. I'm not good at this enough yet. So if it's 5th level. Okay, that's 5d8 plus 4. Okay, cool. So you get. $26 points back.
Ooh,
All
great.
right.
It's like doubled what I had just had.
All right.
Okay.
So I look around at the chaos and the bodies, which have the bodies actually. Did that one body like decloak? Is it invisible?
Eventually it will. Yes, the potion will wear off and it will form after a fashion. The other two, of course, are visibly dead, and you can see that their strange weapons are very unusual, and they seem to. There's a smell about them which is familiar to you, Dieth, Paulton, and Strix, because you have kegs of the stuff. 2 of them, no, 1 keg left, I think, tucked away somewhere in this house.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
It's
Like,
it's
this reminds me of Warrington Munt as well. He probably smells like
it's
it.
definitely a gunpowder weapon, and if Warrington were to see these, he'd get really excited.
Yeah.
Oh, hide them!
We can hold on to them, maybe ask him about it in a bit. All
I
right,
want one.
Espile, they said they're after you about the stone. Did you have the stone?
I sigh and I kick the invisible dead body that's next to me, and I'm like, unfortunately, yes, this is due to me. This is kind of what I was getting at when I was telling you that I was indisposed. Unfortunately, the drow have been hunting me and my family for some time, and I have been in hiding. It kind of works out when you think about it, though, because one of the things that I was going to ask for your help in procuring is one of their hands. So if you wouldn't mind, and you could just be a dear and just go ahead and just snip that off for me, that would be great.
Strix pulls out her scissors and she's like, I got it!
Yeah,
I
Dieth
knew
like
it.
Strix.
I knew it.
This is my favorite thing to do. I love taking parts off of bodies. I'm so good at it. I've learned my whole life. And she just like goes and just like crunch, 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 crunch.
No question, no anything. Oh, I knew I had definitely found the right group. I was so sure of it immediately with the Anthony or whatever his name is.
While this is happening, can Paulton like quietly like yoink one of these mysterious weapons?
Yeah, if you want to do it subtly without your friends seeing, just make a sleight of hand check, a dexterity sleight of hand. If you don't have the skills,
Okay.
Just dexterity.
Oh, I have it. I have it. Ooh, okay. 16.
Anybody who cares to can make a perception check.
I will.
I'm
I
too
would like
busy
to,
I'm too busy chopping this hand off, having a great time.
16.
Okay. You see it, Esvale.
She's like,
Nope, Dieth trusts his friends.
And I go ahead and I say, oh, if you want one of those, you can totally take one. I'm not too interested in those. It's more the hand that I'm interested in.
like
Saying it out loud so everybody knows that you're taking it.
Paulton's just like, well, guest NPC said it's okay, so
What do you need the hand for?
Oh, well, I mean, it's nothing lewd, if that's what you're saying, but it's
Not what I was implying.
Oh.
As you say that, Strix comes up behind you holding this dripping, bloody hand, and she's like, here we go!
Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
as she mentions the possibility of something lewd, Paulton just kind of like looks over to Andrews, just like, huh.
But yes, actually, the hand is a part of a key that I need.
A key?
A key. I know it's
You
very strange.
you know things about keys, Dia.
Chris?
Strix is like, ah!
Okay.
So So I now have this piece. I'm holding it by its like middle finger, like, which is fantastic. I so much more of a productive day than I was expecting. But I do need one other piece, which I'm sure betwixt all of us we can obtain it so easily. I actually need an eye stalk from a beholder.
Oh, I have one of those.
Oh, see, like I said, this girl right here, I adore her.
You see Albie sort of run away. He just sort of.
Oh, not yours, Albie. No, I have a couple. I've like taken them from like every single beholder we've killed.
Yeah, you used up one of them, but you still have one left, a rotting old eye stalk that you took off.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have to be in good condition. That's fine.
Yeah. So Strix will run up and get it, and she'll hold it like in her hand, just like oozing, like just rotting goop.
I look at the.
Hand it, but before you take it, she's gonna be like, "What are these keys for?"
Well, honestly, it's kind of the less you know, the better.
I don't think so.
Okay. I am visibly distressed and fumbling over my words and very nervous, and I try to reach out and take the eye stalk.
No. What do you want the keys for? The more we know, the better we can protect you.
Oh, my dear, it is actually you who I am trying to protect.
Excuse me? I know magic!
Which you couldn't use 2 minutes ago.
She's so mad. She's so mad she rips the eye stalk in half and throws it on the ground.
You said you had
stomps off.
I call after her. You said you had
no case for you!
I'm with Strix on this one. Why do you need these peculiar items so badly, and why did you require us to get them for you? I mean, I'm happy to pay my debts, but you have to understand this all seems so suspicious.
During all this, Paulton like tries to fire the gun to see how it works.
Okay, so there's a little pouch or a little like packet of the black powder that you've seen explode from time to at least once. So, but I'm going to have you make an intelligence arcana check.
Okay. Wow, that's not good. Dirty 20.
Okay, good news is you don't blow your face off. So you sort of figure out that you can use the smoke powder and one of these tiny little pellets that he's got in a pouch together with this thing by stuffing the pellet into the neck of the weapon and then filling up this compartment with smoke powder and then kind of lighting a fuse with a flick of a flint wheel. You might be able to get a shot off. Are you aiming at anything in particular, or just up toward the ceiling?
I'm just kind of up toward the ceiling. I'm like, is this how this?
It lets out a thunderous crack that can be heard all throughout the house.
Strix thinks that she's getting shot, so she just throws herself to the ground and screams.
Paulton does this. He just like, where do we keep that powder?
Dia like jumps a little bit at this as he's trying to have this important conversation with Espelay.
Espelay didn't even move, not even flinch. It like shot right behind her, and she's just like.
That's okay. I can find it.
We're gonna have to wrap this session up in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I grab you and I pull you to the side. I'm like, listen, it wasn't that I was seeking you guys out or that I was trying to have you guys do it by any kind of bad, mischievous terms. It's just honestly, I've heard how great adventurers you are, and I just have a soft spot for adventurers, and I needed help, and I didn't know who else to turn to. So when you came calling to my house, and then I came here, and then you got the hand, and you got a beholder right there. It just seemed serendipitous. But the keys are for a vault. I have a stone that I have acquired, and I am trying to get in this vault. She looks around quickly and leans in. You have been to my manor. You've seen the state of things.
Yeah.
And my family is very important to me, and we have had a bit of a checkered past, which we are trying to move on from, but it is very hard for our family, for our title to recover from this. I am just trying to make sure that my family is okay and try to bring us back to the glory that we once knew. Unfortunately, I cannot do it alone, and I am begging you. She chokes on those words a little bit. Asking you, begging you, if you will please help me convince that delightful little monster girl to give me another eye stalk, please.
First off, she's not a monster. Second, if you want to open up this vault, I need help too. And if I know of the same vault that you're talking about, I think there's plenty to go around.
I am more than happy to give you your share. You have already helped me here with the drow. Whereas I did soften them up for you, I don't know if I could have handled all three of them myself.
All right. Well, if you truly seek to get yourselves and your family and your reputation onto the right path, I will assist with that, as I too need to repay my debts.
You have seen firsthand the state of our affairs, and they are not good, and they have been like that for a long time.
Yeah, and we'll need to have a conversation about that state of affairs, because I still have so many questions.
That's where we'll stop. All right, so this...
You get the doll! How did it burn?
All right, so the next time you see us, we will be on the Glitch stage at TwitchCon for our live game, and it will be a continuation of this story and more. Surprises galore, guests galore,
yeah.
and Vivid Vivka returning to join us with the rest of us in costume.
Pipe.
With 3 other special guests, Malik Forte, WWE superstar Xavier Woods, and Felicia Day.
Woo! And
This is
also,
gonna get
don't forget, Paulton has a gun.
And Paulton. Has
Also, Strix can mend the eye stalk. She'll mend it.
Oh, okay. All right, so the eye stalk is mended. Excellent.
I saw that you mended the lock before. I knew that it was a possibility, but
She's just having a bad day.
Story
you
of her
definitely
life.
put me in my place.
Story of her life. All right, any announcements beyond TwitchCon anybody wants to share before we part company for the week and see each other on Sunday? No?
If anyone is going to TwitchCon, I just want to say that I'm going to be hanging out at the booth, at the Dungeons & Dragons booth quite a bit in my Black Viper costume. So if anybody wanted to come by and see before the actual game and talk costumes and talk D&D and everything, come on by the Dungeons & Dragons booth.
So wait, is the Black Viper the same character that?
I don't know.
I guess.
I'm shy about cosplay. I mean,
Maybe she's playing 2 characters, maybe she's not. We'll find out.
Oh,
do you only have one character? I have no idea.
Oh no,
She's
that sounds like mean.
There will be plenty of surprises, I assure you.
That was it.
All right, so and there's going to be you're going to be doing some costume stuff too at TwitchCon, right, Holly?
Yeah, there's a cosplay panel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm on it with you.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I believe that's on Saturday.
I think it's Friday.
Oh, Friday. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Check the schedule.
Yeah, check the schedule. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's I'll be on that as well as our DCA game Sunday night. So.
Woot. All right, then if there are no other announcements.
I got nothing.
All right. Then we're going to call it a week, folks. And thank you for joining us for this super session. Thank you, Vivid Vivka, for playing Esvele and joining our raucous group.
I was not prepared. What a ruckus. I love it.
Best game reaction subreddit.
And we'll see y'all, if not at TwitchCon, you'll hopefully be watching us on Sunday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. PT start time. And then after that, it's Halloween. So,
Oops.
scary stuff. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.